Greetings, vinyl community. Okay, you got me. I'm back. Um, this is my first vinyl finds video in about 4 to 5 months. Who's counting? Um, but before I get going, I want to say thank you to everyone who sent me messages via Instagram or YouTube and YouTube comments asking me to come back and make another video. I'm here. Sometimes life gets in the way of stuff, but I'm here. I'm alive. I guess my room tour video would have told you I'm alive and buying way too much stereo equipment. But as always, it's been about 4 to 5 months since I've done this. Cheers, everyone. Yeah. All right. We have, I'm going to guesstimate here. I have about 4 to 5 months of a backlog of vinyl to show you. Going to guesstimate 400 records, maybe? I don't know, something like that. The thrift stores haven't been as giving. Still some good stuff, but it's not the big, massive hauls. It's been a couple, but not like spring, summer. So, and I haven't been going a lot, relatively speaking to normal, just because, like I said earlier, life gets in the way. It's life. But I'm here. Anyways, so I kind of debated how to do this because there's so much to show you. So I might have to filter and just maybe park stuff for another video. I may decide halfway through that I'm just sick of talking and hearing my voice and that just to cut it off, or I might want to do a 4-hour video. And if you haven't noticed yet, I got one of these ring lights that, you know, all the YouTubers have that I absolutely find fucking annoying. So yeah, there's these glare. All right. So I'll figure that out by next video. It's my first video using it. I got it from a thrift store for $3. So yay, I'm a YouTuber. Anyways, yeah, there's so much to show you, and I'm just effing the dog right now by not getting to it right now. So let's do this. One more, and then we're going to get to the new vinyl. And if the new vinyl isn't to your liking and you want to see thrift store stuff or kind of like online classified ad stuff, just skip forward. It'll be in hour 6, just to help you out. All right. Hope you all liked my room tour video. A lot of people saw that video. Very happy with that. So I hope you like that. I promise you by next year that it'll be all different again. So new vinyl. I almost said video. This came just the other day because I kind of hedged at Christmas for it. And then I got it off Amazon. Someone returned it and it was still in the packaging. This ring light's really annoying. I'm going to have to raise my head a bit. Is that the secret that all YouTubers use? Or they don't have glasses, I guess. I could do it with no glasses, but I could not tell you what vinyl I'm getting or I'm showing you, which might be funner or more fun if I were speaking English. Yeah, grounds in my coffee. Oasis, live at Nebworth, 1996. I had to get it. It was like more grounds. I love Oasis, and it ends up the track listing's awesome, and it's a great triple live album. Although I have to question why there's only 3 songs per side, and the run out groove, or the space for the run out groove, is longer than the playable music. It seems. I'm exaggerating, but it's kind of like that. That's how they can stretch it out to 3 vinyl and charge you another $20. But it's a good album. Better than Familiar to Millions, their other live album. I'm just grabbing. These new vinyls are vinyls. Someone's gonna be mad at me for that. These new records or albums are in no particular order. Eric B and Rakim, Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em. I love some Rakim. Eric B, if he's along for the ride, but great album. I think maybe their best Complete album. There's other albums that have bigger songs on it, but as a complete album, I think Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em is their best album, and I'm gonna try to not pontificate too much today, just to make this go a bit faster. And I'm out of practice, so I got that from RCP. Thank you guys over there. Carcass, the new Carcass album, Torn Arteries. I think this is the last album was Surgical Steel. Awesome. I don't know if Carcass has done a bad record. Obviously my favorite being Heartwork. I think that's my favorite album. Anyways, Surgical Steel is pretty good too, but this one is just incredible, and it's on Blood Splatter vinyl, of course. But the new Carcass album, if that's kind of fallen under your radar, because there's so much music coming out, and you see it, pick it up. It's Carcass, and it's amazing. Carcass. Oh, Gwar. This is the 30th anniversary of Scumdogs of the Universe performed live, and when I pre-ordered this, I was very excited, and I kind of neglected to do my homework on it, and I just kind of assumed Dave Brockie was in on it. That maybe, and I didn't do the math of 30th anniversary from when it came out. I just saw it, ordered it, forgot about it, and then it came out, and it's Dave Brockie or Odorous is not on it. It's the new lineup of Gwar, and they do all of Scumdogs of the Universe, but not in order, oddly enough. It's kind of mixed up a bit, I think. It's good. There's no Dave Brockie, but I would say this is a passable rendition of Gwar. And God bless them, and I hope they keep on going, because all those other guys were part of Gwar as well, and they made Gwar tick. And so I hope Gwar lives on forever, and it's a decent album. I miss Odorous. What is this? Ozzy, No More Tears. You're gonna notice some of these are months old because I've not done a video in months. Okay, so if you're saying that to yourself, wondering, like, that's months old. Yeah. Okay. I haven't done video in months. Sorry. Ozzy Osbourne, No More Tears finally came out on vinyl. Fucking bloodsuckers. Finally, they waited long enough. I thought I was going to die before I saw this on vinyl. Overall, I think his best complete album, in my opinion. I mean, his first album is pretty damn good. This and his first album, I think, are his best complete albums, in my opinion. But finally got that on vinyl. I better hurry up. There's so much here. The new Hawkwind, which I think came out before Christmas, Somnia. It's Hawkwind, and they're back to doing more space rock kind of stuff. The last album was pretty good. This one is really good. You guys all know that I'm a Hawkwind fanatic. A solid 8 out of 10 for this one, the new Hawkwind, which I think this fell under everyone's radar, and it came and went, but great album. So I'm going to grab stacks at a time. So yeah, Somnia, love it. And I was very happy that it's kind of, like I said, back to that space rock sound, which I love so much. The new Lindsey Buckingham, I think it's his best solo album. And I have them all. Even the Seeds We Sow and all those ones like that, I'm a big fan. Gift of Screws, last couple albums, and Go Insane and all those ones. Anyways, and was it Out of the Cradle? This is his best album, in my opinion, his best solo album. There's a little bit of shuffle, Fleetwood Mac in there for the first time. There's some, typical left of center Lindsey Buckingham, but I think this is his best straight and narrow album, as much as he can do on his own without the Mac kind of interfering. So yeah, Lindsey Buckingham's last solo album. A lot of these, like I said, came under or slid under your radar, I'm giving honest opinions. Good album. If you like Lindsey Buckingham, that's his best solo album in my opinion. Finally picked up this one, and I'm not going to go into why I didn't get it the first time around. I just didn't. I had the wrong opinion of what it was. Robert Plant and Alison Krauss, Raising Sand. I know it's a Grammy Award winner, and I should know better, but I kind of, you have to ignore some albums. You can't be in touch with everything, and this one I chose to ignore. I didn't think the combination would work to my liking, although a lot of people liked it. And then I heard a clip of something they did somewhere, and I'm like, this is really interesting, and I'm wrong, and I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong, and I'm man enough to admit when I'm a man, and wrong enough to admit when I'm wrong. It's good, bordering on great. It's a good album, and I was wrong. I haven't heard the new album yet, so the new another anniversary edition of Kiss. They're going to start breaking these down into months. So this will be the 45th anniversary and 6-month, or 45th year, 6-month anniversary of Destroyers coming next. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't have every pressing imaginable, but I have probably 6 or 7 pressings of Destroyer. And I would argue this is the best one. I think it's even better than the Bob Ezrin remix one. Maybe tied with that one, but the actual album, the outtakes are outtakes, whatever. But as far as Destroyer goes, I think it's the best sounding one I've ever heard. I haven't done A-B comparisons, but to my ears, it was the best one I've ever heard. An album that's fucking decades old, and I got turned on to this album by a podcast. There's a podcast that Rick Rubin does. I can't remember what it's called now. It'll come to me. Anyways, Rick Rubin does a podcast. It's available on all streaming services. And he had Questlove on. And they started talking, and Questlove produced this album many decades ago. And Questlove from The Roots, back before he was on The Tonight Show and all that stuff, back when he was credible. Anyways, I'm kidding. And Rick Rubin was talking about this album with such reverence. It's one of his favorite albums of all time, like in the top 2, he said. I would be silly not to investigate this album, and I had a hard time finding it on vinyl. And then I found it at just a local store down the street. Had an old copy that no one was bothering, and it's Deangelo Voodoo. And I just, like I said, just listening to the way Rick Rubin and Questlove talked about this album with such reverence, and how it changed the game of kind of R&B hip hop. And it is an amazing album. And R&B is not my thing, but it takes a very slanted look at R&B hip hop. And even though Deangelo is recognized as one of the greatest R&B singers of our time, his vocals are to a whisper, which is very not what one would expect with Deangelo. And it's great. And I wish I could remember what that podcast was called. It's something record. It'll come to me. But you can look it up, Rick Rubin's podcast, and listen to the 2-parter with Questlove. Questlove is always an interesting interview. Regardless of what anyone thinks of him, I do like The Roots and Questlove's knowledge of music. Unless he's crawling too far up into his ass and he's talking about how great he is and his knowledge, that gets a bit grating. But I have to respect that he knows a shitload about music. And just the way they talked about this, I had to pick it up. So Deangelo Voodoo, another great album. What is this? I'm going to skip that one for another video. King's X, Tapehead. That was the last Record Store Day title that I picked up. And you can tell I haven't done a video since after Record Store Day, I guess. Or before, I don't know. I don't rush to do Record Store Day videos anymore like I used to be first on there. I don't care anymore. Other people can do that. I'm on when I'm on. But this is a limited numbered record store day. This is 661 out of 2,500 of King's X Tapehead from Record Store Day. Good album by them. Very underrated album by them. The new version of Let It Be by Gilles Martin. The latest in the line of his remixes, redos, whatever you want to call it, of Beatles records. Personally, I found it the least or the most underwhelming. That's what I'm looking for. The most underwhelming of the ones he did for the Beatles. It's good. It's there. Very good quality. It's just I didn't hear a whole lot out of the norm that would have that perked my ears up. But it's good. I was going to buy it anyway. So another one that's old that I found, I think it's going out of print because I had a real tough time finding it, and I thought I had it, and when I realized I didn't have it, and I wanted to play it, I kind of, because I think I sold it. It's an often told story of mine. But Megadeth's United Abominations, one of their kind of later records, a very solid Megadeth record. What is it, from 2019? I don't think that's true. Maybe that's when this pressing is from. This album must be older than that. But anyways, good album. United Abominations. I better start grabbing these in bunches here. Like I said, if this goes long, you know what? Have a nap. Watch it tomorrow. Watch it the next day. Come back. I don't care. Just come back and watch it because there's lots of good stuff. It's almost 5 months worth of stuff. Like Ultravox Vienna, the Steven Wilson remix from Record Store Day. Couldn't find this locally to save my ass, and then I found a copy on eBay for free shipping, and I'm gonna stop panicking for Record Store Day because inevitably 2 weeks later someone's got 35 copies of it for cheaper than that you would have found it normally locally with free shipping. So Ultravox Vienna, it is one of my favorite kind of complete 80s records, and Steven Wilson does a very nice remix of it, I have to say. Sounds great. The new ABBA, I had to hear it. I could have streamed it. That's not in the tradition of ABBA or something I would have done. An album as anticipated as this for some, I don't think I would have just been happy streaming it and blah, blah, blah. I kind of had to have it and listen to it. And it's a good album. It's ABBA. It's mellow. There's a couple upbeat things on it. Some people were complaining that it's a bit mellow, but they're like 106 years old each. So what do you expect? But having said that, it's not embarrassing by any stretch of the imagination. So ABBA's Voyage. Okay, why not? Bruce Springsteen, the No Nukes concert. Is it triple vinyl? Double? Triple? I don't know what the hell it is. It's long. It's the entire 90-minute performance on 2 LPs from his famous No Nukes concert. That's the hype sheet for it. Anyways, September 21st, 22nd, 1979 at Madison Square Gardens. The No Nukes concert. You can't lose with this. It's like, it is one of his best live albums of this era. He brought it and then some on this concert. Annihilators, Never Never Land. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but which is good for you because you don't know what you're going to get next. Annihilators, Never Never Land, which was their second album after Alice in Hell. First with new singer, what's his name? Farham something or other. I can't remember what his name was. Doesn't matter. Oh, Coburn Farr. That's his name. He did one album, I think, with these guys. Like most Annihilator lineups, it's one album and done. But it's good. It doesn't touch their first album, but Music on Vinyl did a really nice pressing of this, and I've wanted this on vinyl forever and ever, ever. And thank you, Music on Vinyl, the label that seems to save me time and time again. Limited edition. I think this is white vinyl. Clear vinyl. The best of the psychedelic furs. Once again, I bet a lot of people didn't know this came out, who might be fans, who might be so inclined to pick this up. But it just came, and this is not. This is like a month ago. I got this. I pre-ordered it, and it's what is it? 11 tracks from their best of album that was on CD with the same cover. But they just stacked it, and it's every song you would want from the Psychedelic Furs on vinyl. So there might be some still kicking around, but hurry. Leafhound, 1971. Kind of, they got grouped into the proto metal category. If you type in best proto metal albums, and that means kind of pre-metal albums that kind of led the way to metal, this is always in that group, no matter who does that list. But Leafhound, a lot of people just think it's kind of glorified boogie rock, but I could see the lineage, and I could see the line being drawn. And regardless of if one wants to call it proto metal or one wants to call it boogie rock blues, I don't care. It's a good album. So the much heralded Leafhound, Growers of Mushroom. I think it's their first album. I think. Another record store day title, U2 Gloria. I kind of pick up the U2 albums now for record store day just because I'm so far deep into them. I feel silly if I don't pick them up now. Hang on for a second here. I'm going to put a pillow under my arse. See if I can sit up higher because of the glare on my glasses there. Anyways, yeah, it's like 4 versions of Gloria. Live versions and studio versions and blah, 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 blah. Like I said, I don't know. They're getting more and more desperate for record store day titles for U2, and I don't get half of them, but I still buy them. That one goes over there. Okay, the Germs Complete Anthology. This came out on the original Porterhouse label that it came out. They got the rights back for it, and they released, I think it's pretty much everything they recorded on 2 albums. The Germs Complete, I think it's their complete recordings, I believe. So was happy to get that. This was a gift from my friend Tom. Hey, Tom. This I think it was a record store day title, but he got me this for Christmas. Is the Canadian metal band Sword and their album Metalized, and it's on blue, red, and white splash vinyl, as it says there. One of those Canadian metal bands that just not a lot of people know about, but are known here, I guess. This must be mid 80s, yeah, like 86, I think it is. But Sword, thank you, Tom, for that. Much appreciated. Let's see what else I got here for new vinyl, which I had, vinyl I had to crack the seal. Wasp, First Blood, Last Cuts. I know there's another Wasp Greatest Hits album, but I think this is actually better of the 2. It's double record, best of Wasp. I just wanted it. Saw it was going out of print. Bought it. That's kind of how it works. I'm going to skip that one. The new reissue of Halford's first solo album under the name Halford, Rob Halford from, did I say Halford? Rob Halford from Judas Priest and Fight. This is his first solo album under the name Halford. I think he had the album Band 2, I think it was, before this. But his first kind of back to metal album, Resurrection, first time on vinyl since I didn't even know it came out in 2000 on vinyl. But it's back to metal. Good album. This is the reissue of Nirvana, another reissue of Nirvana's Nevermind. I never go for these reissues because I have an original pressing. And then as you'll see later on, I have I bought another copy from someone, and so I have a newer pressing as well. But I just like the fact that it came with the 7-inch, and I wanted the 7-inch just because. And is that the reason why I bought it? Yeah, it is. It's the reason why I bought it. So the new reissue of Nirvana, it's strictly limited. So when it's gone, it's gone. I don't think there's going to be a second pressing for this. So I was happy to get that. It's it's kind of a well-known record, some would say. Oh yeah, Killing Joke self-titled album with Dave Grohl on drums. Do you know this got nominated for a Grammy? It did. What year was this? This is 2003. And like I said, Dave Grohl is on drums from Nevermind, Nirvana, Foo Fighters, and other stuff. Anyways, he played drums on this, and I think it's one of the best Killing Joke albums they ever did. It's up there in the top 3, anyways, in my opinion. And I finally got a vinyl copy. Thank you to Music on Vinyl once again. I got this on vinyl, and I'll never get sick of this record. It's one of my favorite albums of its kind, and it's one of my favorite Killing Joke records. Maybe one of my, it's hard to say it's better than the first album, but it's up there with me, anyways. And Dave Grohl does a very, very good job on drums. I'm not the biggest Dave Grohl fan. But he does. I'll give him credit when credit's due. He does a great job on that record. The new picture disc version of Hunky Dory. I don't need it. I got it anyways because because I collect Bowie stuff, and I didn't need it. But I think this is maybe his best album, possibly. I don't know if I'll ever play it, but it's there. I had to have it. I've gotten all the other reissues, and I'm a sucker. What do you want me to say? It's my money. I work hard for it. This is one of the best reissues I've gotten in years. Seriously. And I've been waiting for this to come on vinyl, and I gave up hope. And I gave up hope of ever finding a reasonably priced original copy. I found a copy of Life, Sex, and Death, The Silent Majority. Absolutely one of my favorite metal albums of the 80s and 90s. This was 1992. They did one album, and is it an album? I can't even go. This would take a whole other video to explain Life, Sex, and Death. But if you're interested, go on YouTube and look up the video for Tank. And I think there's a live concert from ABC's In Concert that I loved back in the day, and I tape recorded, and I used to watch over and over again. But and you'll get an idea about Life, Sex, and Death. They had a pseudo-homeless guy named Stanley as their lead singer, who really played the part to the point where he never showered and stunk, and he played the part. But absolutely, I cannot believe Music on Vinyl once again did it again. One of my most wanted albums finally came out on vinyl. This is the new KK Downing album, ex of Judas Priest, called KK's Priest, sorry. And it's called Sermon of the Sinner. And you probably all know the story if you're into metal. They got Ripper Owens back on vocals, who used to be in Priest as well, to replace Rob Halford. And I will honestly say, you can argue with me, it was I think this came out before Christmas. I will say it was one of the best metal albums of 2021. I will say it's in the top 3. For me, it's up there, maybe almost number 1. It's that good. Some hokey lyrics, but so did Judas Priest have some hokey lyrics too. Anyways, listen to the song "Hot Rockin'" by Judas Priest. It's not anything worse or better than this. You can't deny the music. Fantastic songs. Like I said, kind of cheeseball lyrics, but possibly my favorite metal album of last year. I don't think you need to see another Metallica thing. Gamma Ray, this is the last of the new vinyl. So, Gamma Ray, this is 30 years anniversary live record. It's live? Yeah, it's live. Fuck, I just listened to this record. Anyways, new Gamma Ray collection, 30 years live. Gamma Ray, of course, is Kai Hansen from Halloween, and Unisonic, and I'm sure several other bands, but Halloween being the big one he was in. Now he's in again. But Gamma Ray, yeah, an incredible good pressing as well. All right, that is it. I'm gonna have to be picky for the used vinyl, because I didn't show you all my new stuff, and there's no way I can show you all the used stuff. But I'm gonna go through and cherry pick. We're at a half hour almost, and we're gonna go. We're gonna run through this, and whatever I don't do, we'll save for another video. Fair enough? Deal? All right. Once again, look at this awesome mug my friend Tom got me for Christmas. Like, isn't that awesome? All right. Where do I even start? I found at a thrift store a load of kind of modern day records. And that are not really to my liking. One of them is. I'll keep one of them. But it's like the kids that got into the vinyl resurgence with bunny ears. Like a few years ago, now they're starting to sell off their record players. You see more Crosleys in thrift stores and on ads, local close classified ads than ever before. They're selling their Crosleys. They're selling their 5 records they had. And you're starting to find these at thrift stores now. I'm finding, if you watch my videos semi-regularly, you'll see I'm finding more and more kind of modern day records you could go in and find new at a record store now. I found Billie Eilish's first record. I don't even know what it's called. I listened to it yesterday. It was okay. It's called Don't Smile at Me. Found that at a thrift store. I got to figure out a good way of doing this so I'm not making complete messes. Pharrell Williams, his album Girl, Still in the Shrink. I don't even know if I was ever listened to. I think this album is a bit old, but like a few years ago, but I don't know. I don't know shit all about Pharrell Williams, but I found it at a thrift store. I can honestly say now that I've now found the complete Tame Impala catalog at thrift stores with the Slow Rush. I found that in this group. So I've now found, do they have 3 albums or 4 albums? And I've found one of each now at a thrift store separately. This being the last of the puzzle to complete them. Go figure. About the millionth copy of Coldplay Parachutes I've found at thrift stores. Ariana Grande, Dangerous Woman. It was there. I'm not going to say no to it. I'll trade it to someone. Here's the aforementioned Nirvana I found in this grouping of newer records at thrift stores. I think this is kind of like the regular standard edition you can get at stores, not some kind of limited special thing. And I think this one might be actually out of print now, but that was part of the grouping. Haim, Days Are Gone. I don't know. I'll get around to listening to it. Oh my God, you guys are gonna shit yourself when you see this. And someone's gonna rag on me. How many times have I found Fleetwood Mac's Rumors at thrift stores throughout my videos? Think about it. I'm gonna guess it's probably 12 to 13 copies. The only difference is this is a brand new version. This is the audiophile-esque version on Reprise Records. See, it has the barcode, so you know it's a reissue there. But it's the modern day copy you can go buy in a store. That's an insanely good pressing. I'm going to say 12 or 13 copies I've found of different pressings at thrift stores. There you go. Another copy of Rumors. I need another copy of Rumors like I need something in the head. Brains? Captain Beefheart, Unconditionally Guaranteed. I've never heard this record, but it's Captain Beefheart. It's at a thrift store. It's Coming Home With Me, 1974. Like I said, a lot of these I'll get around to listening to because I have so many that I'm still plowing through them. I gotta have to stop at some point, and so I can just catch up with listening. Jeff Beck's Truth. I've found this at thrift store before, but this the cover has some ringwear, but the vinyl's super nice, so I picked it up. Led Zeppelin, Physical Graffiti. I've never had this on vinyl. I think I might have. I don't know. I lose track. But this is a copy I'm going to keep because I've never had a keeper copy of it. But this is a really nice condition copy I found. So I'm going to keep that one. The Beatles Red and Blue. Once again, the only reason I bought them is the vinyl is so beautiful. Untouched. Like, it looks like untouched vinyl. So another copy of Red and Blue. Probably the 5th copy of each I found at thrift stores. Beatles Yesterday and Today. Same thing. Is this in a shrink? No, but this is an old pressing of it. I know that much. It's the Capitol. No, you can tell by the file under. You can see that there through my ridiculous ring light. Anyways, an earlier pressing of the Beatles yesterday and today. I'll be quick with these ones because I found them all in one pop. I found a whole whack of Alan Parsons Project albums. I, Robot, Eye in the Sky, 2 different copies of Tales of Mystery and Imagination. This is the original copy, I believe, and this is the reissued copy or cover. And then a copy of the Turn of a Friendly Card. I've not heard a lot of these Alan Parsons albums, so I thought they were like $1.99. I'm going to give them a fair shake. And I'll listen to them probably this weekend and see. I know I'm a cursory fan of Alan Parsons. I know I, Robot and some other essential tracks, but I've never kind of dug deep, which I will this weekend, God willing. Okay, 2 albums by Triumph I've never had on vinyl, and when I looked to see if I actually had these on vinyl, I was quite surprised to find I didn't have these because I'm a mega Triumph fan. I know I have the CDs and cassettes, but Never Surrender and Progressions of Power. Brain farting on the title. There you go. 2 Triumph albums I don't have. This was one of my best used finds in a long time. It's in that grouping of one of my best finds, used finds in a while. I'm not sure what I just said. I didn't say of all time, did I? If I did, I'm wrong. I misspoke, and I apologize to the viewing audience. It's my best thrift store find in a long time because I've been looking for this album for a long time, and it's out of print, and it's worth quite a few bucks. Is Ladytron 604. If you know Ladytron, you're probably saying, yay! And if you don't know this band, then you're fast forwarding. If you know this band, good for you. I found it at a thrift store last weekend. John Cougar Mellencamp. This is a Discogs buy. I found my friend Tom once again. The 3rd time I've mentioned Tom. Tom's going to have to pay me for advertising on my channel here. For Christmas. And I found another copy after never seeing it on vinyl previously. It's his album, Whenever We Want It. And for John Mellencamp, I think it's one of my favorite albums he ever did. Next to Scarecrow or Lonesome Jubilee. It's rock. It's his return to rock. It's a rockin' record. Let's put it that way. So I finally found another copy on vinyl for me after getting one for my friend. The original Fleetwood Mac, English Rose, I found. Double record. It's a double vinyl. And it's a UK pressing, as you can see. Found that at a thrift store. Ready for this? Pretenders. First album, Mobile Fidelity. Look at that. How's that for a find? Hang on. Makes me all happy and jiggly. Which I found learning to crawl, but I'll take the first album too. Derek and the Dominoes. Is this a UK pressing of Derek and the Dominoes, Layla. Double record. That's a keeper. Just a Stax Greatest Hits, which one day I'll maybe talk more about. It's just, you find these Motown and Stax albums at thrift stores and people just kind of pass by them, but look at the track listing. How can you say no to this track listing? It is Alberta, where we don't have the greatest reputation right now for being inclusive of everyone, to say the least. You read the news. Stax. It's stacked with awesomeness. Great album. It landed flat, don't worry about it. A copy of Leonard Cohen's first album, In the Shrink, capital 2I. I can't really expound on this record because don't really want to. The only real, here's the thing about Leonard Cohen, and he's Canadian, so I might be being an asshole for saying this. My favorite Leonard Cohen album is The Future. And he has all these earlier albums that people revere. And around the time of Natural Born Killers, he had a couple songs in that movie. He has album The Future, and that is my favorite Leonard Cohen album, and I don't know why, and a lot of people would scoff at that, but songs of Leonard Cohen anyways, in The Shrink. Yeah, so that's my Leonard Cohen story. Alice Cooper, From the Inside. Is that what this is called? I don't have it, regardless. It's produced, it's, the concept and the lyrics and direction is by Bernie Taupin. Bernie Taupin of Elton John fame. Produced by David Foster. I didn't have it, and maybe I didn't have it for a reason. I know a lot of people will say it's a great album. And honestly, I have not listened to this album in years, and I'm talking probably 20 years. So I got it because I don't have it. And I will eventually get all Alice Cooper albums. I'm probably almost there now. But I will re-listen to this album and see if my opinion's changed on it. I can't ever remember not liking it, but I can't remember ever like falling in love with it. So, Japanese pressing of Darkness on the Edge of Town. This was an online classified ad, by the way, not a thrift store. This is my keeper pressing. It sounds phenomenal. Some jazz, Max Roach Quartet on Fantasy Records. Very happy to find that, because finding old jazz in good condition is a feat unto itself. Are you ready for this? This was a thrift store find at a Goodwill, I will say to everyone locally. I won't say which one, because I go all around. Queensryche. A double score for Queensryche, their first EP. And the warning, warning, warning. There you go. Thrift store. Excellent condition. I don't need them because I already have them, so I will be raffling these off to the most flattering person to me. Okay, I'm sure I'll be trading these in somewhere. But anyways, Queensryche original pressings, awesome. Once again, double score Kiss. I needed a better copy of the embossed copy of Dress to Kill. And I found one on the original blue Casablanca label, or Casablanca label. If you're new to my channel, guess what, by the way? I don't edit. You get all the burps and farts. I'm not some fake-ass mofo. Hang on here. Some fake-ass mofo who does edits and all this shit like this. It films mistakes and all. That's what you get, and that's the most honest I can be with you. I found a really nice copy of Dress to Kill. Some rub, but the vinyl's sweet and nice, and it's a better version than I have now. So Dress to Kill by Kiss. And then I found my 4th or 5th copy of the original pressing of Kiss's first record, Without Kissing Time. And for that to mean anything, you'd have to be a Kiss fan to know what I mean by that. But a very true original copy. The first Kiss album didn't sell very well. The first 3 albums didn't sell very well, the first one especially. And a true first pressing did not have the song Kissing Time. They added it later on as a, I don't know, just to kind of see if they can push the album by having something marketable. So they did a cover of Kissing Time. Who did that song? I want to say Bobby Darin, but it's not. Anyways, and I think this is my 3rd copy that I have in my possession, because I think I've sold a couple of them. But very nice copy of the first Kiss album, Without Kissing Time. I might fly through some of these now. Jake Giles live in The Shrink, one of the best in the top, I'd say top 15 live albums of all time, in my opinion. Rare Bird, Born Again. Some of these I'm not going to talk about too much. Deep Purple's Burned. These are all thrift store finds, by the way. If not, I'll tell you. I don't have to skip some of this stuff. Wings. Wings Over America, triple album. I found a really super nice copy of it, which I've never had a super nice copy of. I'm going to try separating the stuff I'm not showing you so I can show you next video. What do we got going on here? really good Otis Redding double greatest hits album, which I've never seen before, but it's kind of every Otis Redding album or song you would want on one double record from Warner Music, so it's official. So happy about that. What else can I show you? Oh yeah, I got some double Best of Cream and a kind of a weird cigarette type packaging. It's almost every Cream song you'd ever want. James Brown, my second copy of this, but this one's in the shrink, and the vinyl's about 10 times better than the one I have now. This is Little Willie John and a Few Nice Things. I think he does cover songs on this one, but I've heard this before, but I really don't know the history of it. But it's a great James Brown record. Let's put it that way. Neil Young, Decade, my first time I've ever owned this record, and I've just not wanted to pay the price for it. That it goes for new, or what people are asking used for it. I refused, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I found one at a thrift store. Super nice triple record. Neil Young's Decade. Let me flip through. Hang on, I'll save that for next time. AC/DC, For Those About to Rock. I'm losing track of where I'm put these here. Really nice copy of the Beatles Rubber Soul. In fact, it's a first pressing, and I will show this next video with proof that it's a true first pressing UK. I will show you this next video, I promise you. I just have to speed through this, but I know I was talking to Ty at RCP. This will mean nothing unless you're him, and he was joking that I found this, and I did find it. I'll talk to you, that makes no sense to anyone, but I'll talk to you with next video about that. I found a copy of the Beatles' second album. Like I need another friggin' Beatles record. ZZ Top Tres Hombres, my favorite one, but the cover's beat up, but the vinyl's super nice on London Records. I'm going to make a Franken copy and be happy. How about that? Led Zeppelin's Coda. Never owned this one before. Like, owned it. I've had it, sold it, never owned it. It's not my favorite Led Zeppelin album, but there it is. Most of these are going to be keepers now anyways. Masters of Metal. You might know this record if you're Canadian. Kind of a TV advertised metal record. The Allman Brothers, Brothers and Sisters. Of course, this has Ramblin' Man on it. I've never actually owned a copy to keep. The Doors 13. It's actually, now that I'm showing you these, it's not bad finds from thrift stores. Genesis Live. I have it. I'm going to see if that's a better copy than mine. I'll talk about that one next video. Black Metal. I'll talk about that one next video too. Another copy of Eagles Hotel California with the poster inside. People always want that one. Salt and Pepper, Hot, Cool, and Vicious. This one has Push It, which is why I bought it. Copy of Bob Dylan's John Wesley Harding. How's this? The Young Gods. This was actually from, it's not a thrift store find. This is from Free Cloud, from Rich at Free Cloud. Rich, I love you, you bastard. You beautiful, beautiful bastard. I mean, Rich. I don't mean that in a bad way. Just let's hug it out. I didn't mean that, please, Rich. I love you. That was a nice way of saying I love you, Rich. Calling you a beautiful bastard. This comes from Free Cloud. Thanks, Rich. The Young Gods. I even said what it is. It's the Young Gods' first album. If you don't know the Young Gods, they're a tough listen, and it's a listen that I love. I love this album, and I have since I was a teenager. John Lennon's Live in New York. Never actually had a copy of this for myself, but now this is mine. I'm going to hide this one till later. Oh, yeah, okay. Another copy of Tears for Fears, Sowing the Seeds of Love. I think I'm in possession of 5 or 6 copies of this record. I like to collect, like Fleetwood Mac's Rumors, I like to collect this record. Different variants. And I'm allowed to. It's my life. Some Eagles, Doobie Brothers, I'll show you next time. What else here? Some OJ's, Message in the Music, OJ's. Good album. Oh my God, the stuff I have not shown you. It's amazing. Am I going to go an hour? I wanted to go an hour. Damn it. I'm just going to pick through and find some stuff here for you. Joe Cocker's self-titled record. I've never owned a decent copy of that. Now I do. What else do I have for y'all? This is one of those newer records I find sometimes. Coco Rosie. Some of you might know Coco Rosie on Touch and Go Records. I have to try it. It's, newer music. And you know what? As much as I want to go on, I'm gonna end this now at a solid probably 53 minutes after I'm done saying goodbye and all that shit like that. But just don't hang up the phone yet. Don't. Hang on. I want to talk for a minute. For the 2 or 3 people still here, I want to say thank you to everyone who has stuck with me. Obviously, a lot of people have watched my last video, the room tour video, so a lot of people are still interested in what I have to offer. I think if you make things interesting, people will come. To make a bad analogy of from the movie Field of Dreams, but you know what? It's been a real tough 4 to 5 months for different reasons, and I kind of thought I wasn't going to do another video just because I didn't have it in me. Just because of a lot of things in life going on, and a lot of things will trump making YouTube videos. They just do. So I really do appreciate everyone who's requested me to do one. It has actually been quite a few people, all bullshit aside, and it's really nice to see that people care. And there's a few people who've actually reached out to me to see how I'm doing. Still Spinning is one of them. Of course, Anthony. I'm leaving out some people. I'm sorry. Who have been messaging me. Mark. To see how I'm doing. Mark in Holland. Anyways, yeah. So I appreciate that too. Just keeping tabs on making sure I'm okay. I'm doing okay now. I'm alive. I had a birthday. I had a birthday a couple weeks ago. I'm not going to say how old I am. But anyways, I'm dragging this out now. I want to say thank you to everyone who's hung in there with me and watches my videos and comments, good for bad. Can't please everyone, I know that. But thank you to everyone. And I always encourage you to leave a comment. I do read your comments, and I'm really bad at replying because sometimes I don't know how to reply to really sweet compliments, and sometimes thank you just doesn't seem like enough. But I will do my best to reply, and I do read them all. And kind of, when you're going through a lot of shit stuff, sometimes any positive motivation is good motivation. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate that, and there's gonna be more in the future. I ain't dead yet, but I'm still around. I'm still collecting vinyl. As you can tell by my room tour video, I still got equipment, and I still got a passion for music. So let's wrap it up with that. Thank you, everyone. I love you all. In all seriousness, thank you from the heart. Take care, everyone. This has been As Nomad. Peace. See you later, everyone.